Tainted Grail, the fall of Avalon. Ever wished you could become the best version of yourself? Well, Skyrim definitely did. So did Dark Souls. And guess what? They finally made it happen. Now we've got Tainted Grail, the fall of Avalon, a game that takes the best of the genre and mashes it all together. It's an RPG with first-person perspective, though, hey, you can play in third-person now too, packed with insane atmosphere, tons of player freedom, and deep customization. You're thrown into the grim world of Avalon, stuck in an eternal autumn. This place is loaded with secrets, dungeons, unique enemies, and NPCs. Every corner hides something cool, lore notes, quests, hidden stashes, you name it. And speaking of lore, oh man, it grabs you. Right from the start, it hooks you in like, whoa, okay. Then it lets go just enough to make you go, wait. I kinda want more. And next thing you know, you're running around scavenging every scrap of lore, chasing that same high from the opening. Hope that makes sense. Combat's inspired by Elder Scrolls, especially Skyrim, but with smoother dodging mechanics, like you modded the heck out of it, and way more build variety. Swords, bows, magic, alchemy, or even some wild hybrid like an alchemist berserker. And at night, the weirdness kicks in, this chaotic force that buffs enemies and adds a survival twist. Oh yeah, about survival, this game's tough. There are 3 difficulty settings, but even on easy, it's no walk in the park. So besides fighting and exploring, you'll actually need to dive into alchemy, blacksmithing, fishing, farming, cooking, home management, and even journaling. These systems make the world feel alive. All in all, 100 hours, easy. Tempest Rising. Okay, so out of nowhere, boom, we've got an RTS. Tempest Rising. This game's calling itself the spiritual successor to classics like Command and Amp, Conquer, pulling straight from those iconic 90s and 2000s RTS vibes, think Red Alert. And if you've sunk hundreds of hours into those, buckle up, you'll want to do it all over again here. The setting's an alternate history 1997 where the Cuban Missile Crisis spiraled into full-blown nuclear World War III. Now, on the scorched earth, there's this weird plant called Tempest, a crazy energy source that factions are fighting over. Gameplay's pure old-school RTS, you grab resources, yep, Tempest is basically your cash, build up bases with barracks, factories, power plants, the usual. Then you tech up and crank out an army to go wreck the enemy before they wreck you. Just that core loop could easily burn 100 hours if you're grinding matches. But there's also 2 full campaigns with 11 missions each. So yeah, it's legit. Wuthering Waves. Let's be real, any anime gacha game these days can suck you in. But the latest one making waves? Wuthering Waves, or Wu-Wa if you're lazy. The story drops you on Solaris 3, a planet wrecked by a disaster that wiped out most of humanity and spawned monsters. But hey, humans bounced back, rebuilt civilization, and now you're a rover, some amnesiac badass uncovering the world's secrets. The world's huge, with biomes ranging from deserts to mountains, and you can explore it all, running, climbing, swimming, even using a grappling hook and glider to zip around. No complaints on movement. But the real star? The combat. It's like Punishing, Grey Raven and Devil May Cry had a baby, fast combos, dodges, parries, and you swap between 3 characters mid-fight, Genshin style, each with unique skills. Oh, and yeah, characters are gacha pulls, but here, the rates are way more generous. They even hand out free 5-star units, which already puts it ahead of most other gacha grindfests. Blood Strike. If anime grindfests like WoW hook players with open worlds and endless side quests, then Blood Strike is pure adrenaline for anyone who just wants to shoot stuff, no fluff, no filler. There's no deep lore or extra junk here. The world? Basically just an arena where you and a bunch of other players, or bots if you're low rank, go at it. One goal, survive by taking everyone else out. The maps feel like Verdansk from Warzone, urban zones, open fields, tight corners, all wrapped up in lightning-fast gameplay that makes you feel like you're in a 90s action flick. The big sell: high-speed gunfights and unique operatives. You pick a striker, each with their own skills, drones, shields, you name it. Customize your guns, then jump into modes like Battle Royale, Last Man Standing, Squad Fight, Team Deathmatch, or Hot Zone, Control Point Chaos. And then rinse and repeat until your fingers cramp. No fancy tricks, just raw, relentless carnage. Splitgate 2, Beta. You know what's crazy? You can pull off all that insane action in Splitgate 2 too. But here's the kicker: portals. And here's what's wild about them. When you first start playing, you'll just use them for basic teleporting to get around faster. But after you've put in like 20 hours, that's when the real magic happens. You start dropping portals under your feet, flying out from the ceiling, wiping out 3 enemies and escaping through another portal. Or you start tossing grenades through portals and closing them immediately so the enemy can't escape. The possibilities are endless, and this is exactly what sets the game apart from other shooters. The game's got a bunch of modes from 4v4 to massive 24-player battles. Plus there's 3 character types, speedy ones for aggressive play, support types, and then tanks that are slow as hell but nearly unkillable. Even though it's an early beta right now, it's already crazy addictive. Only downside is the servers have been acting up sometimes, which tanked some of the reviews, but I'm sure they'll fix it fast. The game just launched after all. And we trust these devs, their first game was absolute fire. All in all, it's a solid game across the board, though not quite as good as Breakout Infinite. That one's a completely free, realistic tactical shooter in the extraction genre. You pick your operator, go on raids, and try to extract valuable loot without dying. Right now they've launched the new Ignition season with a ton of new content, fresh map, gameplay improvements, and more modes. We're talking full-on solo play, special ops missions, standard team deathmatch, and elimination. And of course, being this kind of game, you've got plenty of ways to eliminate enemies, dozens of weapons including new additions like the AK-12 and FN-57, plus insane weapon customization with tons of mods and attachments to make your guns even deadlier. Naturally, they've added a battle pass with seasonal challenges, camos, weapon skins, and even weapon charms. Bottom line, it's an excellent shooter that feels incredibly satisfying to play. TES4 Oblivion. Let's be real, do we even need to explain why Oblivion can suck you in for 100, 200, even 300 hours? This is the OG open-world RPG where you create your character and set loose in the massive province of Cyrodiil in Tamriel. The main story revolves around the Emperor's death and the threat of a demonic invasion from Oblivion, but let's be honest, the real magic isn't just in the main quest. It's in the absolute freedom. You can go wherever you want, tackle side quests, join guilds, thieves, mages, fighters, take your pick, or just wander through forests and cities stumbling into random adventures. It all starts with character creation. Pick your race, humans, elves, cat-like Khajiit, or orc-like orcs, tweak your appearance, and decide who you'll be, warrior, mage, thief, or some mix of everything. Gameplay is this perfect blend of real-time combat, NPC interactions, and skill progression. The world feels alive, NPCs follow daily routines, goblins wage wars among themselves, and your choices actually shape the world around you. And let's talk about how Cyrodiil looks in the 5th era, stunning. Detailed forests, castles, ray-traced lighting. Characters no longer look like potatoes, animations are smoother, it's just beautiful. Even now, years later, I still find myself booting it up and getting lost in it all over again. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2. Let me tell you about Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, it's everything you loved about the first game, but cranked up to 11. We're back with Henry, or Jindrik if you want to be proper, the blacksmith's son turned knight in Lord Heinous' service. The year is 1403, and Bohemia's a mess, civil wars raging, King Wenceslas IV is locked up, and his brother Sigismund's running around causing chaos. Henry's got revenge on his mind, for what happened to his family in the first game, and a king to help reclaim his throne. But here's the thing, the story's just the tip of the sword. This game's all about living in the Middle Ages. You shape Henry into whoever you want, hero, outlaw, or something in between. The world's massive, twice the size of the first game, packed with cities like Kutna Ora, villages, forests, and castles. The main story'll take you about 30 hours, but the side quests, exploration, and just existing in this world can eat up hundreds. One hardcore fan logged 300 hours, cleared every map marker, and still found new stuff to do. And get this, the devs are still dropping updates. Just recently, they released the Brushes with Death DLC, where Henry gets tangled up with some eccentric artist and his wild schemes. Oh, and they added horse racing not long ago. Bottom line. It's a masterpiece that keeps giving. If you're into deep RPGs with a side of history, this is your game. Palia. Alright, let's talk about Palia, the coziest damn fantasy life sim you'll ever play. Imagine waking up as a human in the world of Majiri, where elf-like creatures thought your kind went extinct 1,000 years ago. No chosen one nonsense here, your goal isn't to save the world, but to live in it. Build a home, befriend the locals, and maybe, just maybe, figure out what happened to the rest of humanity. Think Animal Crossing meets Stardew Valley, but with MMO vibes and zero pressure. You start in Kilima Village, a picturesque spot with cottages, rolling fields, and neighbors who'll side-eye you, politely, for being a walking relic. Gameplay? Pure, unfiltered chill. Homesteading, claim a plot, build/expand your house, and decorate it with furniture you craft, or loot from secret stashes. Gathering and amp, crafting, chop wood, mine or hunt, or befriend creatures, fish at sunset, or chase bugs with a net. Turn resources into meals, tools, or sellable goods. Farming, grow crops, crossbreed plants, and cook dishes to share at community feasts. Socializing, befriend villagers, some are romanceable, play Hot Pot, a chaotic card game at the black market, or team up with other players for big projects. The devs just dropped Bahari Bay, a lush new zone with hidden treasures and rare creatures. No combat, no timers, just vibes. Perfect for when you want to log in, grill some mushroom skewers, and watch virtual fireflies. Fragpunk. If you're still itching for chaos, let's talk about Fragpunk, a free multiplayer first-person shooter where 2 teams of 5 battle it out in fast-paced matches. Yeah, it's made by Chinese devs, no surprise there, they're cranking out half the games these days. The vibe? A neon-drenched, slightly cyberpunk world with cartoonish graphics straight out of Borderlands. The big hook here isn't just the shooting or the characters, though there are 14 of them, called Lancers, each with wild abilities. Nope, it's the Char card system that flips the rules every round. Let me break it down. Lancers do things like setting traps, shooting lightning from a guitar, or summoning a robot piranha that explodes or lays smoke screens. The main mode is CL Shatter, one team plants a bomb-like device, the other defuses it. Matches are quick, first to 4 wins in casual, 6 in ranked. If it's a tie, sudden death 1v1 duel, pure skill decides. Now, the Char cards. Before each round, your team gets 3 random cards. Spend points to activate them, and they do crazy stuff like make enemy heads double in size, give everyone double jumps, block healing, or turn you into a zombie after death. There are 169 cards total, all free, no pay-to-win crap. Every match feels like a wild ride. Oh, and yeah, battle passes, ranked mode, all the usual stuff, it's all here. Girls Frontline 2, EXILIUM. Anime fans, you're in for a double treat today. Let me break it down, Girls Frontline 2 and EXILIUM. It's a turn-based tactical RPG mixed with gacha elements, set in 2074 Eastern Europe, 12 years after the first game. You play as a commander who used to run a private military company. After it collapses, you become a bounty hunter rolling with tactical dolls. These are your squad, android girls named after real-world firearms. Your missions kick off from a mobile base called Elm, stuck between radiation-infected wastelands and safe zones. The story starts when you take a shady job to transport a mysterious crate, which turns out to hold a literal child. Now every faction's gunning for you, and you gotta protect your cargo while unraveling the secrets behind it. Gameplay-wise? Think EXILIUM but swap the soldiers with literal combat dolls. No cap, positioning and strategy are everything here, cause every attack lands. No RNG nonsense. Plus, you can rewind turns if you mess up. Bottom line. You could easily sink hundreds of hours into this game. 500 hours. That's just the start. Trust me. Off the grid. Alright, let's talk about off the grid. First off, you won't find this one on Steam, at least not yet. You'll need to hit up the Epic Games Store or the dev's official site to get your hands on it. Once you're in, you're diving into a free-to-play third-person shooter set on a tropical island called Tyr in a gritty cyberpunk future. This ain't your average battle royale. It's a wild mashup of PvP and PvE with a heavy focus on story and loot. You're basically a contestant in this brutal reality show where 150 players fight to survive, scavenge gear, and complete missions for shadowy corporations. The goal? Survive, grab the good stuff, and escape the island. Think extraction shooter vibes, right? The big hook here? Cyber limbs. You can swap out your character's arms and legs mid-fight. Throw on a drone arm to scout enemies, slap on rocket jump legs to yeet across the map. It's like Apex Legends abilities but with that crunchy cyberpunk flavor. And yeah, you can tweak your guns too, scopes, suppressors, mags, the works. Every mod changes how you play. Oh, and just like other extraction games, the loot you snag can be sold or traded on an in-game market. High risk, high reward, gotta chase those rare drops. Honestly, this one's got serious potential to eat up your weekends. Don't sleep on it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Alright, let's talk Assassin's Creed Shadows. This one's all about ninjas, samurai, and straight-up chaos in 15th century Japan, specifically the tail end of the Sengoku period, when warlords like Oda Nobunaga were busy trying to unify the country. You're playing as two protagonists, Neo, a stealthy shinobi from Iga province, and Yasuke, the real-life African samurai who served under Nobunaga. Their stories crash together in this clash between assassins, fighting for freedom, and Templars, obsessed with control. You can swap between them anytime to tackle missions your way, stealthy ninja vibes with Neo or brute force samurai energy with Yasuke. But let's be real, most of y'all are gonna main Neo. She's fast, she's got parkour moves, and slicing through enemies with her hidden blade just feels cleaner, you know. The main story's about 35 hours if you speedrun it, but if you dive into side quests, exploration, and soaking up that gorgeous open world, seriously, the visuals are stunning, you're looking at a solid 100-hour grind. Fair warning, though, around the 30-hour mark, things might start feeling a little repetitive. Same old, clear outposts, climb towers, loop. But hey, the atmosphere and sheer beauty of feudal Japan kinda make up for it. If you're into samurai drama or just wanna live out your ninja fantasies, worth a shot. No cap. Sid Meier's Civilization VII. Let's be real, Civilization games are straight up crack for strategy junkies. You're not just playing history, you're rewriting it. Lead your civilization from the Stone Age to the freakin' Space Age, or beyond. Explore, build cities, tech up, and either crush your neighbors with armies or sweet-talk them with diplomacy. This time, the devs went nuts reworking the formula. Leaders and civilizations. Not tied together anymore. Wanna drop Napoleon as the head of Egypt? Go for it. Leaders range from historical icons like Cleopatra to wildcards like Aristotle. And your civilization evolves with each era, pick a new one every time you advance. Cities gotta glow up too. Now there's towns, cheap, easy to manage, and cities, resource powerhouses but high maintenance. Armies move as squads led by generals instead of lone units, way less micromanaging. Diplomacy's deeper too, sabotage rivals with spies, butter up allies with favors, or just nuke them. Win by war, science, culture, or straight-up economic domination. Yeah, it's still civilization, but slicker, smarter, and begging you to lose sleep over one more turn. Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter isn't a game, it's a lifestyle. And Wilds? You'll be hooked for 1,000 hours, easy. This time, you're diving into the Forbidden Lands, a massive, untamed region packed with deserts, forests, and swamps. Play as a guild hunter tasked with balancing the ecosystem by, murdering giant monsters. The story kicks off with a kid named Nato, rescued at the edge of the Forbidden Lands. He babbles about his village getting wrecked by a monster called the White Ghost, the game's flagship beast. Cue your guild expedition, track missing villagers, unravel mysteries, and slap down monsters threatening the balance. The world's fully open now, and you'll zip around on Secretic, a bird-like mount that carries 2 weapon loadouts for mid-fight swaps. Need to chase a flying monster? Switch to your bow. Monster armored up. Grab the hammer. Main story's about 40 hours, but the real meat? Hundreds of side quests, rescuing NPCs, hunting rare monsters, and arena quests, timed co-op challenges with leaderboards. Grind for gear, master combos, and maybe, take down that white ghost without carding 3 times. TLDR, if you've ever wanted to suplex a tier X in 4K. Wilds is your jam. Elden Ring, Nightreign. Alright, let's talk Elden Ring, Nightreign. Yeah, it's not out yet, but mark your calendars for May 30th. This ain't DLC. It's a full-blown, standalone co-op action romp set in the lands between, specifically Limvale, a twisted reimagining of Limgrave from the original game. Here's the deal, you and up to 2 buddies, or solo, if you're a masochist, dive into procedurally generated sessions. Every run. Fresh map, new enemies, randomized loot. You play as Nightfarers, pre-made heroes, not custom characters, each with unique abilities and ultimate moves. 8 to choose from, last I checked. Your goal. Survive 3 in-game days and nights. By day, scavenge Limvale for gear and upgrades. By night, the map shrinks battle royale style, forcing you to throw down with a boss. Win, and the next day gets harder. Rinse and repeat until you face the Night Lord, a megaboss tied to the mysterious Night TT, a corrupting force threatening Limvale. Storytelling's classic From Software fashion, cryptic lore, sparse dialogue, and vibes so thick you could cut ham with a Moonveil katana. No creating your own edgy OC here, just pick a Nightfarer and get good. It's session-based, like bite-sized MMO raids but with that Souls-like flavor. Perfect for grinding with the squad or testing your solo skills. Trust me, this'll hit harder than Millennia's Waterfowl Dance. And that's a wrap. If you found something here that tickles your gamer brain, you know what to do, smash that like button and hit subscribe to Carlike. Catch you in the next one.